Hey guys, and welcome back to Amber Quartz part 23 and the part 3 of Hime Route. Before, I just uploaded part 22, and to be honest, it was like between two sessions, because like I said at the previous video, I had a massive toothache, and I literally went around the country to just get an x-ray and stuff, and that's why I have not really gotten around to it. And yeah, I probably want to get a big chunk out of this simmer out, because to be honest, it's just like a yap fest so far. So yeah, and also it just like rushes, and also at times like it does not even like tell any story. You're going? Or we're going where?
お前何言ってるんだよ。喫茶ハニーに決まってるだろ。
Sorry, I'm good today.
あ？どういう意味だよ。まさかサリナちゃん店を辞めたっていうのかよ。
No, that's not what I meant.
ん？
Anyway, you go by yourself today. With that, I left the classroom. I arrived at the abandoned factory much earlier than usual today. Damn, someone got killed. Ah! What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, can't you just give me some nice SFX? Like, for the love of God, I'm wearing headphones and I'm fucking deafened. Like, I don't even have max volume on. I have like quarter volume on because of the, I don't want to overlap my voice or like the music. I don't want the music to confuse me. So, fucking shit. Oh, they already had it. I can hear the sound of metal being struck from inside. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Subaru. はい、これ。
Don't you dare. Don't you dare give me a fucking SFX like that again, because like, with that kill handed me a hammer. Huh?
そこに切り出してある鉄板を金槌で叩いて軽くカーブをつけて。
Take the sheet of metal cut out there and tap it with a hammer to give it a slight curve. Okay. I see. Tomo.
何?
Hey, what happened with school today?
休んだ。
Huh?
別に義務教育じゃないんだし、進級の問題も特にないから。今はこっちの方が大事でしょ。違うかな。
Well, I guess that's true, but even if your grades are excellent, are you sure your attendance is up to par?
じゃあもういいかな。忙しいから。
Fuck you!
さすがです。私、先輩みたいにうまく叩けませんよ。
Like, give me that nice bump that, like, I heard right after that. That's okay. But, like, this fucking visual novel is full of ear-deafening sounds. How are you not deaf, Nayuta? That's what I wanna know. Upon closer inspection, the metal plate on Nayuta was dented and dented. What the fuck? Oh well, I'll fix it later.
ありがとうございます。
What's wrong, Mikuna?
金槌で手を叩いちゃった。
Okay, take a break for a bit. I take care of it.
悪いわね。本当は猫の手も借りたい時なのに。
It can be helped.
そういえば今日はサリナ来れないのか？
Apparently, one of the part-timers quit, so she filled in for one of them.
それにしても彼女も大変ね。ほぼ毎日バイトじゃない？
That's true, but
体壊さないといいんだけど。どうしたの？なんでスバルくんしか作業してないの？
well, you know, everyone's not used to this kind of thing.
そんなこと最初から分かってるよ。でもやんなくちゃ終わらないんだから。スバルくんにばっかり任せてないで、みんなも手を動かして。
わかったよ。
頑張るわ。
I'm tired. In the end, I was absorbed in work until sunset. But to think that such vitality was hidden within Tomo's small body. I remember Tomo, who worked silently all day without resting her hands. Seeing Tomo working so hard like that, we can't afford to be lazy either. Sure, the work is tiring, but I have to finish the power suit quickly. Thank God. While thinking about such things, I had returned to Shuttle Street. Cafe Honey is just over there, and I feel like having a coffee. I feel like an Ishin is about to, like, there's no sound effects, so like, it's similar to a boss fight when you get so many lmao that like, yeah, that's going to be a boss fight. But in this case, when like you play a visual novel and there's like no background music, there's going to be a very evil music soon. Yeah, shall I go check it out? What? Muttering that, I head toward Cafe Honey. But my footsteps come to a stop along the way. Huh? Salina? Yeah, she got transformed into an Ishin. She wouldn't smile. She haven't noticed me yet, but it's definitely Salina over there. But standing next to her was a stranger. Salina was walking side by side with a middle-aged man. What's with that old guy? He's got this weird smirk on his face. I was curious about Salina's smile, but what caught my attention even more was the old man's expression. He stared at Salina with a lecherous look, occasionally flashing a sly grin. Salina, why are you with that old guy? I slipped behind the two of them, so Salina wouldn't notice me. Wait, what am I doing? It's not like you have to be so shy about it.
サリナちゃんと一緒にお店の外へ出られるなんて嬉しいな。でも本当にいいのかな、こんなことして。
気にしなくていいですよ。それより早く行きましょう。
そうだね。
With that, the two of them disappeared into the crowd. Why are you walking around so familiar with a customer like that? Weren't you supposed to be working after 5? All sorts of wild thoughts were swirling around in my head. And driven by a swirling sense of curiosity, I set off after the two of them. Salina and the stranger kept walking deeper and deeper into the deserted street. Isn't this the street with all the love hotels?
お前、何やってるんだ?
Dad? Yeah, it was my dad standing there. I feel like he's on every route. My dad divorced my mom and now lives apart from her. As you can see, he's a detective. Quit talking to the fucking player. I hate that.
学校帰りか?
Well, I guess so. In the midst of that exchange, Salina disappeared from view. This is bad.
なんだ、お前、体の調子悪いのか?
Well, that's not really true though.
だったらいいんだけど。そうだ、スバル。
What's up?
お前、昔モーってオカルト雑誌読んでたよな。
Well?
どうした？
No, not really.
で、どうなんだ？
It's not like I was reading it, I just bought a few issues, so what?
ああいう雑誌に記事書いてる人間ってどういうやつだろうと思ってな。まあ別に大したことじゃないんだが。
It's no big deal. When Dad acts like that, actually, it's a really, really big deal. I don't know if he realizes it, but that's something that always says. A reporter from Mo got caught up in the incident.
さあな。万が一そうだとしても一般人であるお前に話せることじゃない。お、署から呼び出しメールだ。じゃあな、母さんのことよろしく頼む。
You should say that yourself.
まあ考えとく。じゃあな。
Or I should say that to you. Dad left. As soon as I saw that, I hurriedly ran across the street to where Selena had disappeared. But as expected, Selena was nowhere to be seen. My feet naturally carried me towards Selena's apartment. I look up at the windows of Selena's room. The lights weren't on. Where on earth is she? I took out my cell phone. I was about to call Selena, but I decided against it. When she comes out, what should I say? Besides, if she tells an obvious lie, how am I supposed to respond? I'm home.
どうしたのよ、こんな遅くまで。
I got a little sidetracked and ended up running late. When I got home, my mom was there, which was unusual for that time of day. Come to think of it, shut your fucking mouth. I think you mentioned you had the night shift off today. Or I think she... Anyway, what's for dinner?
カレーだけど。
Yay, curry!
スバル、お父さんに会ったでしょ。
What on earth are she doing?
そうなんでしょ。
My mom's intuition is sometimes uncannily accurate. Even now, she had that aura about her that left me without absolutely no way to talk my way out of it. Well, I just happened to run into him on the street and he stuck up a conversation with me. See? It's kind of like a police stop, isn't it? He asked if Mom was doing okay. Mom?
元気かだって。そんなの勝手なお世話よ。今度道で会ったら言っといて。
If you see him.
言いたいことがあるんだったら自分の口で言いなさいって。
I said exactly the same thing.
あんた分かってるじゃない。
Well, I guess.
今夜はカレー。大鍋で作っちゃったからいっぱい食べて。残さないでよ。
Yeah, I get it. Wait, you want me to finish an entire pot of curry without leaving a single bite? No matter how delicious Mom's curry is, there's just too much to ask. That day, I had my first taste of wanko curry, a dish where they keep piling more on no matter how much you eat. Mom smiled the whole time during dinner, but I wonder if that had something to do with Dad. As I lay there, so full I felt like I was going to pass out, I thought about all that while picturing my parents' faces. Okay, I think 3 days have passed. Well, today is the third day.
安藤安藤くーん
What's up? It seemed that Amamiya had been trying to talk to me for quite some time.
最近機嫌悪いな。それに喫茶ハニーにもあんまり顔出さないじゃないか。
Maybe so. In the end, I haven't heard from Salina since then, and the weekend has already arrived. What the fuck? 3 days have passed and you're just like, I guess she's alright. I mean, occasionally it would be, but like, you are like, you know, fighting against Ishins and stuff, so it should be concerning, no?
安藤、もしかしてお前、サリナちゃんと別れたのか？
You're so noisy.
おお、当たりか！やったー！これで俺もサリナちゃんと付き合えるな！
I told you, that's not true. I never dated Salina in the first place.
サリナって呼び捨てかよ！お前たち、どこまで関係進んでるんだよ。普通男女の仲はキスぐらいじゃ呼び捨てにならないだろ。
How many times do I have to tell you that we have known each other for ages? So, what do you want?
いやさ、サリナちゃんの昨日の行動お前なら知ってるかなって思ったんだが。
Is something wrong?
昨日バイト休んだからもしかしてお前と一緒だったのかなって思ったんだけど。
Did you skip your part-time job?
ああ。
Salina called in sick from her part-time job. There was one thing I just had to confirm with Amamiya. Hey.
なんだよ。
Salina's on shift starting at 5 p.m., right?
ああ、時々な。
Sometimes.
ああ、普通は午後5時までだよ。週に1回ぐらいは頼まれてその後も入ってるけど、それがどうした？
No, it's fine.
そうそう。実は俺が聞きたかったのもそれ絡みのことなんだけどさ。昨夜知らないおじさんが運転する車の助手席にサリナちゃんが乗ってるのを目撃したんだよな。
Is that Salina's dad?
いやー、絶対違うね。もちろんファミリーの写真は入手済みだし。
That's right. He's the world's #1 expert on Salina. So, what about the man who was driving the car? No, I shouldn't read too much into this. Not with Salina of all people. Should I use the keyhole ability to see?
いやー、心配だな。サリナちゃん、常連客と天外デートしてるのかな。お金困ってるって言ってたしな。いいな。俺もサリナちゃんとデートできるような、そんな大人になりたいな。
Die! Thank you.
ってせっかくいい情報を教えてやったのに、なんだよその態度は。
Muttering to himself, Amamiya returned to his seat and immediately threw himself onto the bed in his sock. What bed? Desk. I guess die was a bit much. Maybe I should have settled for something like have your guts burst instead. Probably. Come to think of it, shut the fuck up. Did Tomo take the day off again today? It's that time of the year. It's that time of the... It's that time of year. Is that the time of year when a few students are out with colds, so it doesn't really stand out, but Tomo isn't here? So, that means she's still working hard in that abandoned factory? What's with the silence? Actually, I bet everyone would be surprised to find out that I'm taking a break because I got too carried away building robots. Or she. I'm going to take off my fucking headphones because I'm not going to get fucking ear rape again. That day too, I skipped Cafe Honey and went straight from school to the abandoned factory. Actually, I also wanted to go there early to help Tomo. Huh? The sound of a hammer, which usually echoes all the way outside the abandoned factory, isn't there today. Thank you.
できた。
Okay. You did it? Really, Tomo?
完成したよ。
Congratulations. Damn.
そっか、できたんだ。
Mikone?
それで、ロボットってどれ？床にあるパーツを体に装着したら完成なんだけど。
So, who's going to wear it?
私だけど。
Tomo? So, Tomo is going to be the robot girl?
別にいいでしょ。とにかく試着してみたらいいんじゃない？うん。
Show me. Yeah, you're right. Show me. What's wrong? Toilet.
スバルくん、気が利かないわね。あなたがそこに立ってたら試着できないでしょ？
Oh, right. I'll wait outside, so let me know when you're done changing.
うん。
I waited outside the abandoned factory. I wonder what it will look like when she's put it on. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
先輩。
おーい、そこで何ぼーっとしてるんだ？
Just as I was standing there alone in front of this abandoned factory, Q and Nayuta showed up. Well, just a little.
寒いから早く中に入ろうぜ。
No, I'm afraid, Kyo, you're out of the running. Or you can't go there.
はあ？なんでだよ。
She's changing.
はあ？意味わかんねえよ。
Kyo looks puzzled. If I don't explain properly, he will probably just go inside on his own. Well, that would be pretty interesting if it happened, but honestly, that would be too cruel to Kyo. Actually, right now, thinking that, I decided to briefly explain the situation to the two of them. So, Tomo is currently trying it on.
私はいいんですね。
As soon as I finished speaking, questions started flying at me. It seems they can't wait to go see it. Could you have her put this on?
トモ先輩のお着替えお着替
いいなあ、望月は。
Huh? Watching Nayuta walk into the abandoned factory ahead of her, Kyo muttered absently.
ああ、俺別に友の着替えが見たいとかそういう意味で言ったんじゃないぞ。
I know you do, because... I know. I guess Kyo just wants to get inside quickly and warm up by the stove.
本当に分かってるのか？俺そういうこと言うキャラじゃないんだからな。間違えないでくれよ。
Damn, the text is on the... the arm. I told you, I know. What's up with Kyo? Does he want people to suspect he has a flat-chested fetish or something? As I watched Kyo desperately trying to explain himself, I found myself thinking the exact opposite.
え。お待たせ。もういいわよ。
Let me see a CG for that. Just then a voice called out from inside the factory. Alright, let's go.
おう。って本当に分かったのかよ。
You're so persistent.
じゃーん。
Is my back up... What? Is my back up exposed? Finally revealed Tomo is in a powered suit. In stark contrast to the front, which looked incredibly sturdy, Tomo's wide back was completely exposed behind it.
そうなのよ。
全部作る時間がなかったのと、周りを完全に覆ってしまうと熱くなりすぎるし。
I've definitely heard somewhere that working as a part-timer in a costume for a costume show is insanely hot.
友の体にぴったり作りすぎたため、服を着たままだと乗り込めなかったの。
だからこんなセクシー仕様になったんです。
Show me then. Oh, so completely naked in a powered suit?
何かおかしい？
Damn. She became Master Chief. No, I'm fine, but I think it's probably best not to mention that half of her body is show. What?
友、乗り心地とか何か他に問題はない？
トイレ行きたい。
I didn't see that coming.
もうちょっと待ってくださいね。今脱がせてあげますから。
じゃあ、友が脱ぐから、スバルくんたちは今日はこれで終わり。
Is that it?
明日は午後1時にここに集合ということにしましょう。
早くして。漏れそう。
See you later, Tomo.
気絶しそう。
The next day brought another beautiful blue sky. The temperature was also a bit higher than usual. I felt a little relieved. After all, Tomo has to strip down completely and climb right into the powered suit. My stomach gets cold. I have to go to the restroom. No, her stomach gets cold and she has to go to the restroom, and then she can't focus on the mission anymore. Yeah, I'm really glad the weather turned out so nice.
スバル、
Selena!
ごめん。今日行けるって電話を自宅にしたら、スバルもう家を出た後だったから。
You don't have a part-time job today?
うん。この1週間はあんまりみんなのこと手伝えなかったから、今日はその分頑張るわ。
I guess that's Selena's innocent smile. Why not just use the keyhole ability on her? Actually, there are a lot of things I like to ask you.
どうしたの？私の顔に何かついてる？
No, not that. I still can't bring myself to say anything to Selena today. Or nothing. So, Miko and Nayuta had already arrived at the abandoned factory and were just helping Tomo put on the power suit.
うわー！これが噂のセクシーパワードスーツか？
セクシーかな？
Yes.
すごくセクシーだよ。
Well, I guess her back does look sexy, but coming from Tomo, someone who's always flashing her panties at work, that's a bit... Well, I guess her back does look sexy, but coming from Selena, I guess, someone who's always flashing her panties at work, that's a bit rich.
どうなの？今日の装着感は。
今日も全然余裕ない。途中でずれ落ちないから、それぐらいがちょうどいいと思いますよ。そうだね。
Kyo hasn't arrived yet, but I guess I should head out.
スバルくん、何一人で歩き出しているの？
Huh? Is there a problem?
トモがこのまま一人で屋敷まで歩いていくと思ってるの？
Is that impossible?
当たり前じゃないですか。
That might be true, but... So, what am I supposed to do?
そうね。スバルくん、トモをおんぶできる？
You mean Tomo as she is right now?
無理かな。
みやこさん、それ絶対無理ですよ。パワードスーツ着たトモ先輩を背負ったら、先輩、切り傷だらけになっちゃいますよ。
確かに一理あるわね。
It's not just a mile or two, it's easily 300 miles at the very least, just like Nayuta said. I'm covered in scrapes and bruises.
一旦パーツを脱いで十文字亭の前でもう一度着ればいいんじゃないかな。
ダメよ。あの辺りに着替える場所なんてなかったわ。
路上で一瞬全裸になっちゃいますよ。いいよ、私が裸になるだけなら。
でもね。
One problem solved, another one pops up. To keep strumming over something like this.
ごめんごめん。
Damn!
遅れちゃったな。
You ran like Usain Bolt. Everyone's gaze turned to Kyo, who had arrived late, but our interest wasn't in Kyo himself.
何なんだこの空気は。
He's going to like that? How did you get here?
ママチャリだけど。
ということは2台あるわね。
ああ、普通ママチャリには2台あると思うが、それがどうした？
Phew, that was close. The way Kyo gets to the abandoned factory is by bicycle, specifically the utility bike with the cargo rack that he uses at the store. If I use that, I won't have to walk around wearing this power suit and carrying Tomo on my back.
先輩、助かりましたね。
はあ？さっきから何言ってるんだよ。
We set Tomo, who was wearing a power suit, on the back of the bike and pedaled along very carefully so as not to tip it over. If this were October, I might have bought it as just a bunch of people getting carried away by the Halloween hype, but unfortunately it's December now. Amid the tense atmosphere hanging in the air, we made our way to Dr. Jumunji's house.
よし、トモ、降りていいぞ。
うん。
Fuck you. With a clang, Tomo stands on the ground. It would be cool if this were from a catapult, but it's actually the back of a regular bike, and she's half naked too.
じゃあいいわね、トモ。
It doesn't look great, but I guess we are pretty much ready. We will gather around Tomo.
うん。
それじゃあ作戦の最終確認よ。
So I removed the bar, but I guess in a way you could see why that was a bad idea. Hopefully she does not move in front, because I have to blur it. Right now it's probably blurred enough. Just to be sure, ask me again.
ここから十文字亭の塀までは距離にして20メートル。
Tomo, having climbed into the powered suit, advances to the wall and destroys it with punches and kicks.
塀が破られたら私たち全員は十文字亭敷地に入る。
We count on you, Tomo.
科学的なのか行き当たりばったりなのかよくわからない作戦ですね。
何か言った？
いえ、何も言ってないです。
トモ、途中で決して振り返っちゃダメよ。背中はガラ空きなんだから。
わかってる。
Is there anything else?
緊張してきた。トイレ行きたい。
Huh?
それは。ごめん、冗談言ってみただけ。
Damn, the under-the-nose jokes. Tomo? Since she doesn't usually joke around, it's hard to tell if Tomo is serious or not. Well, maybe that was just Tomo's way of trying to lighten the tense atmosphere.
じゃあ、行くね。
Be careful.
ナクラ殿、出撃します。トモ先輩、無事で。頑張って。
Tomo. Okay, I have to blur that.
レーザー攻撃が始まった。
大丈夫のはずよ。これぐらいのレーザーには十分耐えられるわ。
でもこの前よりもレーザーのパワー強くないか。
Come to think of it, shut up. Q is definitely right. The laser does seem to be more powerful. Before, it was just burning Miss Yajima's clothes, but this time she's going at it, or it's going at it with enough intensity to burn her body too.
もしかして相手に合わせてパワーを変えられるんじゃないのか。
What did you say?
戻れ。いや、後ずさりするように戻るんだ。
Sensing that Tomo was in danger, Kyo shouted out clear instructions. Tomo! Tomo! Damn it! Can't you hear me? But perhaps because she was distracted by the sound of the laser firing, Tomo kept walking straight toward the wall. And Tomo, clad in a powered suit, took direct hits from the laser time and time again. Without falling, she made it to the wall, and just as Miko had planned, we moved on to destroying it. Tomo throws the left straight at the wall, but it doesn't break at all. Tomo followed up with a powerful right straight, but the wall only crumbled slightly on the surface. Since she's wearing a powered suit, Tomo's attacks should be incredibly powerful, but... Damn it. Did it fail? I guess I have to go back for now and regroup.
ちょっと待って。トモの様子をよく見て。
Just as I was about to suggest a tactical retreat, Mikone cut me off by pointing at Tomo. When I hurriedly turned around, there was Tomo about to pull out her secret weapon. As lasers whizzed past her, Tomo deliberately took a few steps back. The wall is broken. Deciding that the punch wouldn't do the trick, Tomo switches to a full body charge. That split-second decision paid off, and the wall burst open with a loud crash.
マジか。それにレーザーも止まったぞ。
Miko, now's your chance.
ええ、みんなもよ。
Determined not to let this opportunity slip by, we started running toward the hole Tomo had dug. Once we entered the professor's grounds, we headed straight for what looked like a lab building. I was on the lookout for more traps even after I crossed the wall, but there were no more laser attacks, so I was able to proceed safely. And so we arrived safely in front of the building we were looking for. I was about to knock on the door to see if the professor was inside, but...
失礼します。
As if completely ignoring all that, Kyo strode right inside. Hey, wait a minute, Kyo! Are you just going to barge into her or his house?
これだけ派手に塀を壊しといて、今さら細かいことごちゃごちゃ言うなよ。
No, but... Sure, once you have gone and destroyed the fence, there's no point in worrying about manners or etiquette, but you could at least show a little consideration. It was just as I was about to say that to Kyo.
家宅侵入も他人の家の塀をぶっ壊すのも細かいことなのか。
A voice can be heard coming from somewhere in the room. The person speaking is probably...
3つ数える前に出ていけ。さもないと撃ち殺す。
A man in a white lab coat emerges from behind a pile of papers. This must be Dr. Jumanji. Dr. Jumanji, we'd like to meet you.
うるさい。俺は会いたくない。カウントダウン始めるぞ。3、
博士、待ってください。
2、
I said, wait a minute.
1。
We just want to protect this town from the alien gods. We have absolutely no intention of fighting you.
0。
Am I going to get shot? If they are such dangerous machinery just to protect the house, the doctor's words about shooting them dead aren't a lie. Shooting us. The count reached 0 and I steeled myself for what was to come.
お前たち、何者だ？
話しかけるか狙いをつけるかどっちかにしてくれないか。わかったよ。好きにしてくれ。
お前らに言われなくても、そうする。
With that, the doctor took the handgun he had hidden in the sleeve of his lab coat and placed it on the desk. For a while now, something that looked like a gun barrel has been appearing and disappearing, aimed at me and Kyo, so it really was a gun after all. A breath, a huge sigh of relief, glad that the immediate threat of being shot had passed. At least I won't get shot out of the blue anymore. It looks like the doctor is willing to talk.
おい、何からこの町を守りたいだと？
The characters for different and God make up the word Ishin. That's what we call them. We don't know exactly what it is either, but considering its connection to the meteorite... I paused there for a moment, then I looked at the professor straight in the eye as I continued speaking. An unknown life form from outer space. Maybe so. This was nothing more than mere speculations with no solid basis. But apparently the alien god is vulnerable to the meteorite that was supposedly embedded in the bell of the bell tower. Besides, a giant amoeba that can transform into anything would definitely be an alien.
博士が行っている隕石の研究なら、異人から身を守るのに有効だって。
隕石を使った武器作ってるんだろ？それを俺たちに見せてほしいんだ。
言いたいことは一通り話したか？
は？
お前たちなんか信用するバカだと思ったか？
The doctor picks up the handgun again. Then he pulls the hammer back and points the barrel at me. So you won't believe me, is that it? Even though you seemed willing to listen at first, did you think we weren't trustworthy or something? As I thought about that, I kept glancing back and forth between the gun pointed at me and the doctor's face. Neurowire, and it was during that stalemate that...
とうとうお会いできましたね、博士。
A voice I hear from behind, one unlike any of my companions. Oh! Who's there? When I turned around, there was a man in a suit standing there. I instinctively shout at the other person, but immediately after, I snap out of it. His face, where have I seen it before?
この前を通ったらちょうど入れましたんで。
機嫌せろ！取材など受ける気はない。
Huh? An interview. Alright, I remember now. Those words really struck a chord with me. I thought I'd seen this man somewhere before. He's the guy in the photo I received from reporter Yajima some time ago. He's an Ishin then. So this man, Shibukawa, and now he's no longer human. Yeah.
誰が取材だと言いました？
何？
What? A strange deity, exuding an atmosphere distinctly different from anything that had come before, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. That was the only visible change, but I could feel the malicious intent radiating from him.
何なんだ。
こいつが偉人です。どんな姿にも擬態できる存在です。もちろん人間にだって化けられます。
Be careful, Doctor. We don't know what kind of attack the alien god will launch. Seeing that the professor couldn't hide his surprise, Miko and I gave him a brief explanation of the alien god. For now, I guess I should just tell them that I can take on human form. It can take on human form, and that he's dangerous being.
人に化ける。
化けるだけじゃないぜ。人間は俺の大好物だ。
No way am I letting that happen. Let's go! As if to prove that the first move is the winning move, I stood in the enemy's way and launched an attack. Go for it! I had my hand out toward my opponent and focused my strength and concentration on my fingertips. Extend the neuro wire and immobilize the enemy right in front of you. Thank God an Ishin that isn't strong against this shit power. The neuro wires I fired wrap around the alien god, completely immobilizing it. Try moving even an inch from there, and the wires around you will slice you to pieces.
貴様。
よし、今のうちにとどめよ。
あ？ふざけるな。
What? I thought I completely deprived it of its freedom of movement, but the alien god shed its disguise and transformed into an amoeba-like form. Oh no. At this rate, it will just change shape at will. At this rate, it will just change shape at will, touch the wire and escape. With that in mind, I narrowed the gap between the wires even further, trying my best to keep him from escaping. Before that, the alien god, having taken on an amoeba-like form, slipped through the wire and sprawled limply across the floor. I tugged the extended wire back with a click of my tongue and glared at the alien god sprawled listlessly on the floor.
愚かな人間どもめ。今日はこれぐらいにしといてやる。
Then the alien god uttered those parting words.
さらばだ。
With that, it crawled across the floor and disappeared into a nearby drain. Damn, he got away.
スバル、大丈夫？
After the alien god vanished as if fleeing, Sonina was the first to speak. I'm fine. I replied to Sonina and spread my arms slightly to show her I wasn't hurt. Then I turned to Mikone and asked for her opinion on what she had just witnessed. Miko, do you think that foreign god will come back here?
ええ、多分。
Miko replied, looking a bit downcast. I wish I could have taken him down right there. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. She's thinking.
あいつがお前らが戦っている相手か。
That's right. Did you understand what we were saying? No matter how much I try to explain it, people just don't seem to understand the story of the other god. But after seeing the existence of a foreign god with his own eyes, and witnessing such a transformation, I suppose he has no choice but to believe it.
とりあえずドアを閉めてこっちへ来い。
Yes. He doesn't quite trust us yet, but it seems he's let his guard down a little. I start walking over to close the door, just as the professor told me to.
おーい。助けて。
あの声は。
Tomo! I can hear Tomo's faint voice coming from outside. Maybe she got hurt by the laser? Are you okay, Tomo? We hurry back to where the wall collapsed. For a moment I thought the alien god had fled only to return, but that wasn't the case. Tomo was stuck there with the wall still in ruins. When I looked, both of her legs were buried in the rubble. It seems that even a powered suit like this one couldn't escape from this situation. Tomo, are you okay?
大丈夫じゃない。
You didn't get hurt by that laser just now, did you?
そういうことじゃなくて。
Huh?
おしっこのレスト。トモ先輩、すっきりしました？うん。
So, Doctor, you're saying this isn't the first time we have beaten... By the way, this was like a very fast thing that just like got caught, but okay. So, Doctor, you're saying this isn't the first time we have been attacked by the other gods. With that, I picked up where I left off in the conversation we have been having. Since then, we have been giving the professor a more detailed explanation of the alien gods.
何度かな。
The professor nodded as he said that, then added, though this is the first time I've seen its true form.
それで屋敷をこんな風に改造したと？
ま、それだけじゃないが。
それにしても、祭り沢市に落ちた隕石って一体何なんですか？
ミコね、その質問は大雑把すぎないか？
いや、そうでもないだろう。私だって隕石の正体が何なのかわからないから研究をやめるタイミングを見失った。そして気がついたらこんな年だ。だがお前たちが言ってることで私にも心当たりがないわけじゃない。隕石にある周波数の電磁波を当てると何かが生み出されていることは明らかだ。
Something.
それは偉人退治に効果のあることなんですね。
ノーコメントだ。
Doctor, please help us defeat the alien gods. In return, we will do anything, even be your bodyguard. So please, we really need the doctor's help.
ダメだ。
Huh?
私は自分自身の学術的な興味のために研究を続けているんだ。誰かに助けてもらう気もないし、逆に誰かのために何かをする気もない。
そんな。
博士、インターネットで博士の研究にまつわる噂を読みました。
That's when Tomo chimed in and told us about this so-called rumor. As Miss Yajima mentioned earlier, Dr. Jumanji was once a leading authority on laser research. In his research for an efficient medium for laser oscillation, the professor's research extended into the field of mineralogy. It is said that the world's first laser was generated using a crystal of ruby, a gemstone. It is said that the world's first laser was generated using a crystal of ruby, a gemstone, but there are various other laser generating media as well. Amid all this, Dr. Jumanji set his sights on a meteorite discovered in his hometown of Matsuzawa City. Commonly known as the Matsuzawa meteorite, it contains unique materials not found anywhere else on Earth. At first glance, this gift from space appears to be nothing more than an ordinary lump of iron, but when exposed to a certain type of electromagnetic wave, it undergoes a dramatic transformation. It emitted a vivid amber light unlike any other laser and produced an output that was far beyond what was normally possible. It is said that the Doctor was completely captivated by the star-like light, laser that could reach as far as tens of thousands of light years away. However, this marked the beginning of the Doctor's downfall. Lasers using the Matsusama meteorite as a medium were not only extremely difficult to control due to their excessively high output, but they also had the fatal flaw of being impossible to mass produce because the medium was a meteorite. The university where Dr. Jumonji was affiliated also quickly gave up on research that couldn't be mass produced, and thus wasn't profitable, and demanded a change in the direction of his research. However, the professor remained adamant about using the laser generated by the Matsusama meteorite, leading to a clash with the university administration. Now you decide to yab right away. Leave me some leg room, because I salivate. In the end, that was the reason the professor was forced to leave the university. And that's when it happened. Rumors began to circulate that Dr. Jumonji was developing a laser weapon using the Matsusama meteorite. The source of the rumor was the last paper the professor wrote while he was still at the university. It states the following regarding the high power of the laser generated by the Matsusama meteorite. With a simple mechanism, about the size of a rocket launcher carried by an infantryman, it can generate enough power to melt a tank in an instant. However, it also mentioned that with current technology it might be impossible to control the situation, leading to a massive explosion of the entire launch system. However, it was certainly true that this statement was the catalyst for widespread misunderstanding and rumors. I don't really get it, even after hearing you explaining it. But is that actually impressive?
想像だけど、博士の研究は偉人を倒すための切り札になると思う。
ちょっと待てよ。そんなにすごいのか？
According to Tomo, just like the bell in the bell tower, items made from the Matsusama meteorite are highly likely to be particularly effective against the other gods. By the way, it seems that Mikone's 7-branched sword was also forged from copper containing the Matsusama meteorite. Considering that the sound of a bell or the slash of a sword inflicts significant damage on the alien deity, the laser emitted by the Matsusama meteorite might also prove quite effective against the alien deities. It's amazing. If that's true, it will make hunting down the alien gods a whole lot easier.
博士、そんなのを研究しているのに偉人に使わないのはおかしいと思う。
おかしいだと？おかしいのはお前たちの方だ！
Huh? Up until then, the professor had been speaking without showing much emotion, but then he suddenly flew into rage, and we were taken aback.
この兵器が偉人を倒したら、その後どうなると思う？また別のターゲットを探す。それは人類の滅亡まで永遠に続くイタチごっこだ。原子爆弾がたどった運命を考えてみれば、そのくらい中学生だってわかる話だ。私はこんなものを実戦で使うつもりなどない。わかったら出てけ！
With that, the doctor ordered us to leave the mansion. Or the facility, or whatever this is. We tried to persuade him repeatedly after that, but the doctor wouldn't listen to a word we said. I left the professor's house as if I'd been kicked out. On the way home, I gazed at the sunset sky, lost in thought as I recalled the professor's words. I do understand the professor's reasoning. I think it's a noble way of thinking, one that isn't swayed by profit or fame. But tools are meant to be used, after all. As long as you use them correctly, that's all that matters, isn't it? As I fought the immediate threat of the alien gods, I couldn't help but feel that way. Still, we sure had some unwanted interference today for a mere human to use the same supernatural powers as us. Oh, whatever. A stranger of that caliber isn't a match for me, no matter how many of them there are. But as for that guy, Jumonji, I suppose we should take care of him sooner than later. I guess the best approach is to find some way to hold something over him and lure him out of that troublesome house. Judging by this reporter's account, the guy is all alone in the world with no family or friends. It seems he has lived a life completely devoid of what we humans would call happiness. Everyone has one or two areas where they are just hopelessly vulnerable. Let's see, I dig deeper into this reporter's memory and see if I can find any weaknesses. What's this? I see, this might actually come in handy. It's probably the woman. We gathered at the abandoned factory early that morning. So, I know I'm technically in the middle of like a part, but that middle of is like, I would like to say 3 weeks since then. So I started recording that part and I had to go somewhere. I have no fucking clue, or maybe I just got better things to do. And I was like, I'm just going to cut in the middle and then come back to it maybe next day. Well, today is like almost June 24th, which is not really true because it's June, I would like to say 19th. Yeah. And otherwise I would just like go straight to the part, because like technically this is the middle of a part, so I'm just going to timestamp it and just yap about what is going on with Amber Quartz and why have I stopped playing it and whether I'm going to finish it or not. And obviously I'm going to finish it because, for one, I'm too deep into Amber Quartz and it would be like waste of time invested, and for two, I'm actually interested in the game, so it's not that I lost interest, even though like this Hime route isn't particularly interesting. The part you just saw right now is where I actually feel like, okay, hold up, the story starts to get good. And yeah, but so many stuff happened in this month and will happen in this month that I just can't make time to play Amber Quartz. So for one, Until Then has basically announced a DLC which just released yesterday, and I'm not going to be able to play it since like July, or like until July, because Deltarune Chapter 5 is about to release like 5 days from now, and obviously I'm just going to play that. And if that wasn't enough, I also started to play other games like Broken Sword 5. I don't know why, I just decided to just suddenly play it. I just felt like it, and I'm like almost at the end. And also there's many things that are going to come up after those things done. For example, I'm going to go on vacation. There's going to be which is like very late of the month, so that's not really an excuse, but there's going to be the Spider-Man Brand New Day theater movie thing. I was also in the Amazing Digital Circus last, or like final act theater recording, like day 1 with friends. So I just like have to say that this month it's like very busy, and while I probably had plenty of time mostly because like I play the Roblox Miners World 24/7, where I wasn't playing Amber Quartz, but like I wasn't feeling it because I could have done two things. The first one is just like either go down, sit down, and just like play through the entire, like just lock in and just beat at least the Hime route. So I need that sentiment. And for the record, I don't have that sentiment right now, so I'm not recording that part because like I'm going to actively return to Amber Quartz. It's because I just left this part unfinished and I was just like, you know what, I'm already in the middle of this and I might just record another hour or two to it and then cut it or edit it and then upload it to YouTube. So without further ado, I have no fucking clue where we left off. So this is technically like a part in between a part, because like I could have just ended it and then just like, but you know, I never even recorded like a ending, it just would have ended. So I couldn't even do a fade out to that part. So without further ado, let's just go straight into it. And if you just skipped the app session, then you did not really miss much, but mainly that I'm not going to return to Amber Quartz for a good while, until possibly July after this part, so just be aware. This is because yesterday's strategy yielded mixed results, making it necessary to rework it once again. I have a brief like thing what happened like with the detective and
誰
stuff.
か何か意見はないの？
Oh, by the way, my mouse has worked, but you know I don't want clicking sounds, so I'm just going to use enter. Which isn't that much calmer or quiet. No one answered Mikone's question, or rather it would be more accurate to say they couldn't answer it. The security at the doctor's house was considered the biggest hurdle. We managed to break through it, albeit by brute force, but the real challenge wasn't breaking into the house, it was what came after. The real problem was the doctor's stubborn personality, which was even more intractable than the robust security system. By the way, sorry for the dogs barking in the background. It happened many months. You know, I don't know how many parts. I think all of them has dog barking, because like I live next to a neighbor who has like 3 big fucking dogs, so I just like have to deal with them. I never would have thought he'd be that hard to persuade. Even as I thought that, I tried to come up with a good suggestion. However, no matter how hard I thought about it, I couldn't come up with a brilliant idea that would turn the situation around.
トモ、ロボットを直すのはやめて話に参加して。
Yeah, this is an ear-apey sound. Once again.
あ、ごめん。
Tomo, who had been working a short distance away, said this apologetically, stopped what she was doing and joined the conversation. Although the powered suit had been damaged by yesterday's laser attack, it appeared to be in a condition that could still be repaired.
直接十文字博士と話ができたのは収穫だったけど、結局博士の協力は得られなかったわ。
でも別に俺たちだけでも奴らを倒せる。
かもしれないけど。
While Kyo was breathing heavily, Mikone gave her tentative approval, but remained cautious. It's true that the strange god from yesterday fled right away, but that doesn't mean it's too early to assume he will be an easy opponent.
ところで、昨日偉人が化けていた人間、あれは誰なんだ？
Saying that, Kyo gave us a puzzled look. I mean, he should have seen my face in the photo though. I don't know. I showed you that ring I found at Space Park before, right?
雑誌モーの記者さんですよね。
Peeves. That's right, it's a ring belonging to a man named Tatsuo Shibukara.
ということは 今回の偉人のパーソナリティはその人ということになるのかしら。
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance of that. If I recall correctly, according to Miss Yajima, he is a skilled writer. I don't know yet how that fits into the picture, but there's no way the other god couldn't take or wouldn't take advantage of my strengths. Of his strengths? For now, much about the enemy, including their abilities and personalities, remains unknown. It looks like we will need to be extremely cautious.
いかにも悪賢そうってタイプだったな。
先入観は良くないわ。
すまない。
でも確かに渋川って人の情報を集めたら偉人の思考パターンがわかるかもしれないわね。
Well then, I try to get in touch with Miss Yajima from Mo. Miss Yajima is in the same line of work, and we have worked together several times. If I ask her, I'm sure I will be able to get a lot of information. With that in mind, I decided to volunteer to gather intelligence on the enemy.
ええ、お願い。他に何かいい手はないかしら。
宇宙公園の金が戻ってくれば、偉人にはかなりの抑止力が期待できるんでしょ。いつ戻ってくるんだろう。
スバルくん、サリナに聞いといてくれた？
Sorry, I'm not ready yet.
それって難しいのかな？
What Mikuna means by that is asking Salina to get in touch with her father. Just hearing that, it sounds simple, but...
そうなんですか？
だってあいつ、父親の話になると、すごくムキになるだろ。相当なことがあったんだよ。
Q seemed to have picked up on that too, and understand how difficult it was for Salina to bring up the subject of her father. No, even so, I try to ask her somehow. It might be hard, but I do my best.
そうね。じゃあ、それもお願いするわ。今回の偉人だけど、目的は何だと思う？
やっぱり十文字博士かな。モーのライターの記憶を持ってるわけだし、十文字博士の研究を阻止しようと動くと思う。
In response to Mikuna's question, Tomo was the first to speak up. When it comes to deductive reasoning, or rather insight, and analytical skills, Tomo is head and shoulders above the rest. As Tomo said, the other god's target is undoubtedly Dr. Jumonji and the knowledge he possesses.
つまり、博士のことはこれからも注意を払っていく必要があるってことね。
うん。
Saying that, Tomo nodded earnestly. Her expression seemed to suggest she was already devising a plan for what to do next.
わかったわ。十文字博士がかつて在職した祭沢大学に今から行ってみましょう。
でも今日は日曜日だぜ。
あの大学の教務は日曜日も開いてるの。とにかく手に入る情報は集めましょう。
わかったよ。
スバルくん、あなたは別行動で偉人が化けていた渋川さんのこと調べてもらえるかしら？
Yeah, I will let you know if I found out anything.
それからサリナに今日の話伝えといてもらえるかしら？
Got it.
それじゃあ行動開始よ。
Once Mikune saw that I had nodded, she said that and looked around at everyone's faces. That serves as a direct signal, and we'll have the abandoned factory to head for our respective destinations. After leaving the abandoned factory and saying goodbye to everyone, I called the number on the business card Miss Yajima had given me earlier.
はい、八島ですが。
Oh, hello, my name is Subaru Ando.
安藤スバル。どこでお目にかかりましたっけ？
I told you how to get to Space Park at Cafe Honey the other day.
ちょっと待って。
And then in front of Dr. Jumanji's house, a laser...
ああ、わかったわかった。それ以上言わなくてもいいわ。
The moment I mentioned the word laser, Miss Yajima suddenly started panicking on the other end of the line. Well, I guess it goes without saying, or whatever you want to call it, but that must have made a huge impression and been pretty embarrassing.
それで今日はどうしたの？
I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Shibukawa, who has gone missing.
もしかして何か情報つかんだ？
Yeah, well...
実は今日取材で祭り沢市に行こうと思ってたの。会って話をしましょう。
Yeah.
場所はこの間の喫茶店ね。
Miss Yajime is officially making arrangements, but what do you think about meeting at Cafe Honey? Are you okay? The shop is on a side street, so... I started to feel uneasy, so I gently suggested we choose a more accessible location, somewhere like right in front of the station.
何を言ってるの？大丈夫に決まってるでしょ？
Yeah, we don't have like 1,000 CGs we can paint, so we are going to use the one that we are always
ちょっとだ
using,
け地理感ないけど。
so we
問
don't
題ないわよ。
need to spend unnecessary money on making another CG just for this scene alone. However, Miss Yajima said this as if my consideration were unnecessary, displaying a confidence that was likely unfounded.
今から1時間で着くから。
If anything comes up, please call me on my cell phone. So the meeting place is Cafe Honey, huh? It worked out perfectly. I can report to Sunny now what we discussed today, then why were you against it? Still, I wonder how many hours it will actually take for it to show up. Please don't be here fucking Amamiya. It's been so long that I forgot the characters' names. Anyway, I arrived at Cafe Honey 5 minutes before our meeting time. Sanina was there, just as I thought. Next, I looked around to see if I could spot Amamiya, but it seems he hasn't arrived yet today. I couldn't see him anywhere. Thank God. Well, given the nature of the conversation, it might actually be better if he wasn't here. With that thought in mind, I took my usual seat.
いらっしゃいませ。注文はお決まりでしょうか？
Coffee. Also, I was just in an abandoned factory having a meeting. I keep it short, so now's a good time, right?
他にお客さんが来るまでならいいわ。
It took her a while to reply, but Sanina finally settled in to listen to what I had to say. I started giving a brief explanation, trying to get the main points across before the customers arrive. I think what the other god is after this time is Dr. Jumanji's life and the results of his research. We don't really know much about Dr. Jumanji yet either. Everyone except me went to Matsuzawa University to look into it a little more.
そう。
Also, the person the alien god was disguised as is a reporter for Mo named Shibukawa. I'm the one who's going to look into him. Because I think his way of thinking is influencing this foreign god. So, Miss Yajima from Mo is supposed to show up here soon.
そうなんだ。私は何をすればいいの？
What should I ask? Is your part-time job still busy? Sure, I was happy to receive the offer to help, but I was even more concerned about Sanina's current situation. If you're busy, I don't want to make you help out if it's too much of a hassle, and I need to ask why you have to work this hard.
そうね。
Are you that short of money?
私、父親の援助には頼らないことにしたの。今住んでる場所は父親の持ち物だけど、自分でバイトして、そのお金で自活してるの。最初からそのつもりで、 オーストラリアから帰ってきたし、それに。
Selena suddenly hesitated. What is it?
実は。
Just then, the door to the store opened.
お待たせ。どう？時間ぴったりでしょ。すごいよね。駅から一度も迷わなかったよ。あなたもこの間の。
先日はありがとうございました。ただいまお水をお持ちします。
水はいいわ。コーヒー、アイスでね。
アイスコーヒーですね。少々お待ちください。
変な子ね。知り合いにだっていつもあんな風に他人行儀なの？
Yeah, well, while I'm working.
ところで渋川さんの話だったよね。
Yeah.
じゃあ私の方から彼のこと話そうか。
Please do so.
彼はライターとしては優秀だったわ。でも人間的にはあれだったけどね。
What do you mean?
記事をものにするためには手段を選ばないっていうのかな。彼のせいで人生をめちゃくちゃにされた人物は数知れないわ。
Turn others' life upside down, huh? That sounds like it's going to be a tough one. As I spoke those words, I began to get a vague sense of who Shibukawa was. Ishin is someone who has always acted on instinct, without much regard for the means. When you add this kind of personality to the mix, he's honestly a huge pain in the ass.
彼がどうしたの？
Not
見つけたの？
How should I put it?
なんなのよ。
Does this look familiar to you? I placed that ring on the table.
この蛇が絡みついてるデザイン、渋川さんの指輪じゃない？
I think Mr. Shibukawa is dead. Where should I start? What part should I leave out, and where can I begin without a problem? I wasn't sure where to draw the line, so I decided to just get the results out of the way first.
ちょっと待ってよ。そんなニュース聞いてないわよ。
I thought she might be a little skeptical, or start by disagreeing, but Miss Yajima just went along with what I said as if she believed me completely. What am I going to do? I didn't expect them to latch on this hard. But it's dangerous to tell the whole truth, and I can't very well say I was lying just now, at this point. This is a real headache.
宇宙人ね。そうだわ。宇宙人なのね。
Just as I was racking my brain over how much to reveal, Miss Yajima's expression suddenly brightened.
人間蒸発の影に宇宙人あり。これ常識よ。
No, that kind of common sense only applies to most readers. I find myself wanting to mentally call out Miss Yajima for presenting such outlandish ideas as common sense, but...
やっぱりね。宇宙人はいたのね。そうか。
Furthermore, the misinterpretation born of misunderstanding reached a definitive conclusion, and Miss Yajima nodded vigorously in agreement with the theory he had arrived at. This is the longest sentence. Is this really what it says? Damn. As expected of the Mo editorial team, their range of thought is off the charts. Well, since I'm at it, maybe I bring that up too. Well, it seems that so-called alien is currently disguised as Mr. Shibukawa.
じゃあ君は渋川さんに化けた宇宙人を見たっていうの？
Well, yeah.
あり得るでしょうね。
Wow, that's actually possible. I don't even doubt this part. I mean, this person will do anything. So, do you happen to know any places where Mr. Shibukawa might hang out?
なんで？
Well, it seems like Shibukawa-san's memories have been passed on to the aliens.
そうか。ちょっと待って。
With that, he picked up a paper napkin from the table and began to write swiftly with this pen.
祭沢市内だったらこんなところじゃないかな。電話番号も書いといたよ。
That really helps. Thank you so much.
気にしないで。その代わり、宇宙人の続報入ったら私に連絡してね。そのスクープ記事、ぜひともものにしてみたいから。
As I listened to Yajima's talk about her ambitions, I ended up staying at Cafe Honey longer than usual, which was quite out of character for me. As for Selena, she didn't like being grilled by Miss Yajima. In the end, she never came over to our table after that. I still couldn't bring myself to ask Selena's dad for a favor today. Tomorrow, for sure. I wonder how many times I have thought this. We are halfway through the route. The bell signaling the end of school rang out through the classroom. Everyone around me was buzzing with excitement, eager to make the most of their long-awaited free time, but I just couldn't get into that kind of mood. I really have to talk to Selena about that today. Ever since I got to school, that's all I've been thinking about. As the end of the school day approached, I was starting to feel pretty down. And now it's after school, I'm feeling totally down. Ugh, I'm really in a bad mood.
Subaru 君、いいかな?
Huh, Tomo, what's up? Just then, Tomo, who was unusually in the classroom, spoke to me, who was completely overcome by melancholy.
昨日祭沢大学へ行って分かったことなんだけど。
Did you figure something out? Just when I thought it was going to be small talk or a quick update, Tomo suddenly got right to the point. I straightened my back a little, sat up straight, and decided to listen to Tomo seriously.
十文字博士の大学時代のことを知っていそうな大学関係者を調べてみたら、不審な失踪者が目立ってたんだ。
So, what does that mean?
誰かが先回りして十文字博士の情報を得ては、その後処分してるってことじゃないかな。
You are saying some pretty cruel things without even realizing it. Besides, come to think of it, shut the fuck up. We are in a classroom. It wouldn't be good if someone overheard us talking about this kind of thing. I thought that for a moment, but with a story this far-fetched, a stranger wouldn't have the slightest idea what I was talking about. It might seem like a rather arbitrary interpretation, but that's the judgment I've come to. Tomo, on the other hand, seemed to already be aware of this, and had been carrying on with the conversation without paying much attention to those around her.
でも、そう考えるのが一番妥当だし、それもここ最近ばかり。
What do you mean by lately?
全員12月に入ってから。
Well, that has definitely been happening lately.
あ、でもなんとか生存者1名見つけた。十文字博士とは大学時代同じ研究室だった人。
I see. So you really managed to find them. So have you talked to that person yet?
いや、まだなんだけど。
Tomo's tone softens a bit here. Was there a problem or something?
だって海外の研究所に勤務してるから。昨日電話してみたらバカンスに出かけてるみたい。
Could it be the Christmas break or something? I see. It's true that if you are overseas, it wouldn't be unusual to take a long vacation around Christmas. But if that happens, I won't have any idea when I'll be able to get in touch.
だったら最悪だけど。とりあえず今日も電話してみる。
I see. So what about meeting up at the abandoned factory today?
今日はないよ。
Is that so? Well, I guess today's the day I finally bring up that topic with Selina and see if I can get in touch with her somehow. Hearing Tomo say there were no plans to meet up, I started thinking through what to do next. But first and foremost, there's the matter of Selina, right? Oh man, I wonder how many times I thought to myself, okay, I got to listen to this today.
よワンドじゃあ行こうぜ
Just as I was thinking about that, the narrow-eyed guy, all giddy from the after-school atmosphere, appeared in front of me.
じゃあ私は
What happened? Perhaps taken aback by Amamiya's sudden appearance, Tomo said that and hurriedly walked away. You don't have to switch them out so obviously, do you?
なんだよお前mina倉とも仲いいのかよいいな
Shut the fuck up. Weren't you supposed to be devoted to Selina?
そうだけどさでもmina倉も喫茶ハニーでバイトしたらきっと人気者になると思うぜ
Amamiya, don't you just go for anyone as long as they are wearing that uniform?
何を言ってるんだ確かに喫茶ハニーの制服は素晴らしい素晴らしすぎるが俺はただ制服だけで燃えたりしているわけなのでは決して
Okay, I get it. Alright, let's go. I don't have time to put up with pointless over-the-top talk about school uniforms. I nod along half-heartedly as I get up from my seat.
ああってお前に誘われるとなんか調子が狂うぜ
Even as he said that, Amamiya kept following right behind me, and so once again we headed to Cafe Honey today.
ただいまお帰りなさいませご主人様
As soon as he walked into the store, or rather the moment... As soon as he walked into the cafe, or rather the moment he set foot inside, Amamiya started some kind of annoying woman show.
ああまずはお風呂になさいますかそれともお食事ですかいやコーヒーだ
Okay, this was funny. It seems Amamiya is once again in top form when it comes to causing trouble today. We needed to isolate him before things escalated into a full-blown incident.
それを例の制服で持ってこいえそんなあの制服それでとっても恥ずかしいです
I hope Selena just makes him explode. Oh, so that one character was Selena. She doesn't look anything like her. I mean, they didn't even try to make her look like her, did they?
勘弁してくださいいやならあの制服でないといけないのだ
So this phony gentleman is Amamiya then? What's with that? No, that won't do.
ご主人様の意地悪
Hey, what have you been muttering about this whole time? It's creepy. Well, it seems the perverted Amamiya theater has come to an end for now. But what exactly was the performance all about, anyway?
脳内保管だこれでサリナちゃんを10倍堪能できる
Oh, really? Well, whether you call it a hokan or a yakan, do whatever you want. Just don't grope anyone, Amamiya.
いらっしゃいませ
残念だが君には注文しないサリナちゃんを呼んできてくれたまえ
What an asshole!
サリナちゃんですかあの子今日はお休みですよ
なれ
As soon as Amamiya shouted that, he froze in place. A day off? It wasn't as dramatic or obvious as Amamiya's reaction, but those words still came as quite a shock to me. Is that true?
ええ本当はシフトに入ってたんだけど急に体調が悪くなったって連絡があって
The waitress said that, and even told us why Selena had taken the day off. But I just couldn't bring myself to believe those words. Selena. After working so many shifts, to go out of her way to take a day off like that. This must be a really big deal to Salina. I'm sure there's something she hasn't told us either. But I wonder what Salina is up to. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not just at Cafe Honey, but even after I got home. The first class of the day, during which I was still feeling sleepy, finally ended, and the bell signaling the break rang out. Huh? I spotted Tomo leaving the classroom almost as soon as the bell rang, and I stood up thinking, come to think of it. Shut your fucking mouth, bro. It didn't have to be right now, but there was one thing I wanted to ask Tomo. Hey, Tomo! Unlike yesterday when work ended, today I'm the one who goes up to Tomo first.
Subaru-kun.
About the person Dr. Jumanji knows, any new developments? An acquaintance of Dr. Jumanji from his college days says there have been a string of missing people cases since the beginning of this month. Amid all this, Tomo said he would try to get in touch with the one person whose survival had been confirmed. I was curious about the results, so I asked Tomo what happened.
そのことで後で話そうと思ってたんだけど。
I have something to talk about later. Does that mean she found out something? That's what I thought, so I urged her to continue.
今トイレに行こうと思って。
Sorry, we can do it later. I see, so that's why she was the first to leave the classroom. Well then, I guess I shouldn't call her back. It's not like I absolutely have to hear it right now, so I say that and try to walk away, but this time Tomo stops me.
いいよ、まだ我慢できそうだから。
Is that so? Don't push yourself too hard, okay?
無理してないから。
I see, well then, tell me about it.
明け方だけど、博士の知り合いと電話がつながったの。それで電話で取材に応じてくれた。
Oh, really? It's also pretty wild that it was at dawn. I mean, calling at that hour is definitely rude. Oh, but for people who are called professor or doctor, maybe that amount of time is actually better. Even as my thoughts wandered off on a tangent, I listened to the information Tomo had gathered during her reporting.
十文字博士には陰性の時に付き合ってた女性がいたんだって。
That's kind of surprising. I always thought he'd been like that for as long as I can remember. Tomo, are you okay? Do you really not need to go to the restroom yet?
まだ大丈夫だから。
Seriously, don't push yourself too hard. If you hold it in too long, you'll end up with a urinary tract infection. That's no laughing matter.
わかってる。
No, that I get it doesn't sound like you really get it at all. Just as I was about to make a remark that was almost like a retort, Tomo uttered the woman's name in a slightly trembling voice.
彼女の名は羽田玲。ただ博士と付き合っていた期間は短くて、別れた直後から彼女の消息は不明なの。
Are you okay, Tomo?
もう限界。トイレ。
Go ahead. By the time I muttered that, someone was already gone from my sight, and all I could see was a small figure staggering slightly ahead of me. If you just look at this part and think about Tomo, there's no way you think she's a genius girl. As I watch Tomo rush to the restroom, I find myself thinking such a flippant and rude thought. But that feeling was short-lived. I quickly snapped out of it and tried to recall the name Tomo had mentioned. Rei Aneta, huh? I wonder what kind of person she is. I silently murmured the name of someone who might know the doctor's past, hoping it would help move the situation forward, even a little. Before I knew it, it was already time for the next class to start. Today I'm heading over to Cafe Honey again. Okay, so I'm going to end it off here, mainly because like I have no idea how long the previous section of this part was. So, thank you guys for watching, and I don't know when, but I will see you guys in the next part. I don't even know what the number of this part is. I think in the 24th, like something around that. So whatever, but thank you guys for watching, and I see you guys possibly in July. Ciao.